What's going on YouTube? My name is FG3000. I'm back in the place to be, and welcome back for the last and final time to Venus 11. If you have not heard the news, this game is officially shutting down on July the 31st, but as you guys probably know, I did not spend a ton of time playing this game throughout the global launch, and I really only know like a couple of people that did play the game. Well, there you go, FG, that's the problem right there. you might be right. But since I don't really know a lot about the game, I'm not going to be trying to analyze what exactly went wrong. Instead, we're going to do one final send-off, one final gameplay session for the game that was Venus 11, but it actually still is Venus 11 in Japan. So for all the global players out there that still want to continue playing, yeah, you got to start over, but the game is still alive and well in Japan. So let's go ahead and jump on into the service termination notice. Now, we've covered a lot of shutdowns thus far, and none of them have really stood out. Like, they're all pretty box standard. It's a message, hey, we're shutting down, the end. The only one that really stands out when it comes to shutdowns is Symphogear, and that's just due to the fact on how fast the game shut down. But when it comes to the shutdowns themselves, they haven't really been too different and nothing too standoutish about them until today. So check this out. During this final month, we will have no new events, that's pretty straightforward, or scouts made available. In this game, summoning banners are called scouts. So this I find very bizarre because checkity check this out. The very last scout ended, and we'll take a look at a few of the characters that were in that scout. What these characters and their outfits have to do with soccer, football, I will never know. But the last scout has already ended. And as you saw in the service termination notice, they're not going to be putting out any new scouts, even like old ones, just because. And what does that do, ladies and gentlemen? I'll show you what it does. If we go over here to scout, there is no active banner in the game whatsoever. So if you have currency, you can't even spend it. Like, that is the strangest thing I've ever seen any of these shutdown games do. Why not let people burn out the rest of their currency and whatever banner was left in the game? I don't know. That's such a weird thing to happen, but that is what they decided to do here in the world of Venus 11. So let's go ahead and jump on over here into some of the characters that you can collect. So we're going to go ahead and go through a few of the characters that I've collected thus far. Obviously, the 2D art is fantastic, but as you guys can see, the actual in-combat, in-game models are going to be little pint-sized chibi models here. But the 2D art, ladies and gentlemen, is definitely on point. This is definitely not a reason why the game shut down, I can assure you. And like I said, there are a ton of different characters and costumes that don't look like they belong in the soccer field per se. This is the character that I chose. When you first begin the game, not that this matters anymore, but when you first begin the game, you do get an infinite reroll single pull. So I went ahead and grabbed her because she looks like she was wearing some bootleg Beats headphones. So I was all about it. But very, very awesome 2D art. As you guys, what does this snake do? Why is there a snake on the back? I don't know. I have no idea. But there you go. Those are a few of the characters there. And these little micro loading screens right over here. I do remember when I first played the game, that was my biggest grievance back then. It doesn't seem as bad this time around. But one of my biggest grievances were not that the fact that the loading screens were too long, it's just that there were a lot of them and they all had to load, Definitely not to the level of Digimon Re-Arise, not that level. Like, that game has a lot of loading screens and they're long. This game just has a lot of loading screens. But they're not, what you doing? I mean, yeah, you know, like I said, you see that little girl a lot, like a ton. But here we are inside an actual match, ladies and gentlemen. Since I know absolutely nothing about football, soccer, even back then, I just threw this bad boy on autoplay ×2 speed and let the girls do what they do. Because if I interacted with this in any way, it would be worse. It would absolutely be worse. But I would love to have seen, and I know too late to ask for that now, I think it would have been awesome to actually have the full 2D art characters represented in game as well. I think that would have been crazy good. I don't know if it would have been enough to keep the game from shutting down here in global, because I think we all know that when it comes to football, soccer in America, Western culture, it's not as big as it is everywhere else. Like, everywhere else, it's just like, it's literally the biggest sport on the planet. But for whatever reason, it didn't really quite grab hold here in America. We do actually have, this is like sidebar, since we're not really doing anything besides watch a little soccer match. Sidebar, right outside my apartment, they actually are building a professional soccer stadium for Austin, Texas. Obviously put on hold quite a bit due to all the things going on inside the world. But maybe one day, we'll see football, soccer games be able to be as popular as they are overseas. But for right now, I just don't think that's the case. I think right off the bat, they were already kind of fighting a losing battle just by having this theme that's aesthetic in this first place. Just by putting a soccer ball in your game, you were already, I don't want to say doomed to failure, but I just feel like you were already behind. You were already behind the 8-ball, or the soccer ball, if you will. And really, like I said, if you don't really know too much about the sport, I don't even know what's going on. I mean, I know the concept, go kick the ball in the goal, but I don't really, it's kind of hard for me to like really appreciate what's going on here as a person that doesn't really know the sport at all. So there you go. And of course, as you guys can see at the top of the screen, they're talking trash as they go. And I would also say that the matches kind of, they're a little long, I would say. I have to press the button.
That's what she said.
This thing is the worst thing ever. There's like a little ultimate attack there, smacking my poor goalie in the face. Am I losing? Dude, I'm gonna end this game on a loss. Or was I the other team? I guess I'll have to see. I know we actually won. My name is Nielsen because I just took whatever name was available. This is one of those games that also did not have a Google link feature or anything like that. It had a data code, and I did not save that data code from the last time I played the game. So rip to that account, ladies and gentlemen. It was probably a pro account too. Who knows? So let's go back over here to the office here. Leveling up, as you guys can see. Increase my max friendship level. See, the load, like I said, it's just kind of numerous. Like everything that you do, like let's go over here to train. Go back, and you're not really going to be going in and out of these menus in your normal gameplay session like I'm doing. But as you guys can see, you know, to be honest, I feel like maybe my threshold for this has adjusted since I played this game, but it doesn't seem as bad as I felt it was before. Like the loading screens don't seem that bad, but I definitely remember that being one of my grievances the last time I played the game. Of course, the events are not going to be active anymore, and of course, you also have your tried and true daily resource grinds, as you guys can see, which allows you to kind of build up some of your characters. If you want to see what that actually looked like, we can go over here to train. And you know, as much as I love waifus, as you guys know, I'm not really big into like dating sim style games. I don't know how far this game went to the whole dating sim aspect. I'm fine with like giving you some gifts, right? I'll do that, right? If you want some chocolate, I got you. FG got you. But I don't really want to like talk to you every day. I don't want to have to click on you and stuff like that. I don't want to do that kind of stuff. In no game have I ever been excited to do like little affection mini game type stuff. But this stuff is fine, I guess. I'll do this. There you go, making her nice and happy. She loves me now. So now, as you guys can see, she fully trusts FG. I can also increase some of her skills here as well by just basically adding something like Pass Master. I can go ahead and equip that. Thank you very much. Do I have 2 Pass Masters? Oh, I'm double Pass Master on that. Very, very nice. Here's where you can learn more and more about your favorite waifu that you just made really, really like you. Obviously, they're gonna give you a little bit of currency there as well, which you always love to see. That is, yeah, these I mean, they're not bad. Definitely numerous. I don't even have, I was about to say, I don't even get the PNG action. I just want to see if anyone else is going to pop on the screen here, but doesn't look like it. Oh, then I have to, oh no. Yeah, this is the stuff I don't like. This is the stuff I don't like. I don't want to talk to you. Oh, dude. It looks like that was wrong. Now she's mad at me for saying the wrong things. I gotta deal with that enough in real life. I ain't trying to go over here to Venus 11 and have to traverse different types of relationship obstacles. You know what I'm talking about? And there you go. There, you can also do some drills here in order to increase their power levels, I guess you want to say. Go ahead and get it on. Nice training action, little training montage. Very, very nice. And that will pretty much do it. Like I said, I didn't play the game, so I don't really know exactly what went wrong with the title, other than the fact that I do think that this soccer, football types of games here are going to be an uphill battle. I don't think it's impossible to have a successful soccer-based hero collector in the States. I don't think you're going to be able to do it with like chibi models here, and I think combat / the game itself is gonna have to be more on the side of combat stuff and a little bit less on the game part. Does that make sense? Like, this is mostly game. a little bit of combat. I think what they need to do is flip that around, mostly combat and a little bit of the actual soccer game, and then you might be able to kind of convince some people to come on over to check your game out. But obviously this game did not do that. So that will do it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. One last look at Venus 11. Like I said, this game is officially shutting down on July the 31st, but if you do want to play it, you still can play it in JP. And I did just look at a few of the banners that they're running over in JP, and let me tell you, I am not doing this game justice when it comes to the waifus that I've showed you thus far. I'm going to try to make sure the thumbnail, though, is on point so you guys can get a feel for what JP is all about. Until then, I'm out. See you guys in the next video. Later.